Pokemon, the sound type. Did they do it? No, they have not added the sound type. Doesn't look like we're getting it in Gen 9. Doesn't look like we may ever get it, but I'm going to rank Pokemon that should be sound type anyway. These are our categories, automatic, ranging down to why would this be sound type. We're going to talk about the Pokemon on this list. I did not make this, and we're going to tear apart whoever did, because some of these Pokemon, either they're a lot smarter than me, or some of these Pokemon are on here for no reason, which is possible, for sure. If you guys like random tier lists, let me know what I should do next in the comments, and consider subscribing. Let's go ahead and get into it. Sunkern, Sunflora. I have looked through the dex entries. I don't really know why Sunkern and Sunflora would be sound type. It mentions that Sunkern fall from the sky, much like seeds. It mentions that Sunflora gets its energy from the sun. It's the sun Pokemon. I didn't see anything that would make them sound type at all. Dunsparce, same thing. Didn't really see anything why it would be sound type. Dunsparce can fly a little bit. It also digs into the ground with its tail. I could see this thing being ground type. I could not see it being sound type. I don't know why it would be sound type. I could see it's in its design that it could be sound type, but there's nothing that I can see, unless I'm missing something in its dex entries. There's nothing that I can see that would make it, yeah, that's definitely a sound type. Let me move this over a little bit so we can see a little better. Can we see? Yeah, it's a little better if I move that over. All right. Porygon 2, also not seeing much reason for this to be sound type. Porygon 2, a lot of its dex entries mention it being able to work in space and having artificial intelligence. So I could see some adaptation of its typing, but sound does not seem to be something that is really mentioned. Smoochum I actually didn't look up, because Smoochum I think you could make a case for making it sound type. The odd thing about that is I don't see Jinx on here. So I'm not sure why they put Smoochum on here and not Jinx. Let's go ahead and look up Smoochum. Apologies for loud typing. So if we look up Smoochum here, any reason why this... I know it has... Well, Lovely Kiss, that's not sound. Yeah, it's big on its lips. Its lips... It always uses its lips first to examine things. They're the most sensitive parts of its body. But it doesn't even mention anything about its singing. It's curious. Smoochum likes to bathe. Yeah, Smoochum, don't know why that would be sound type. Whismur, Exploud, and Loudred, though, automatic. Give them the type. These Pokemon were made to have the sound type. That's absolutely easy. Love that. These Pokemon by themselves justify having a sound type. Obviously, you can't make it for just one type, but more than almost any other Pokemon on this list. Oh, here's Jinx. More than almost every other Pokemon on this list, it would make sense for them. Oh, I guess Jinx would be sound type because it's like an opera singer, right? I guess that could work. And Smoochum's the pre-evolution. But the problem with Smoochum and Jinx is that they're already two typings. And so, like, with Whismur, Exploud, and Loudred, it's easy because you just give them the sound type. You can keep them as normal if you want. You can make them normal sound, or you can just make them plain sound. We've seen Pokemon lose their normal typing before. But I don't think Pokemon have lost any of their other typings before. So losing either Ice or Psychic would be interesting. I guess Ice and Sound would make more sense, because the Sound would take the place of the Psychic. But it would be a total shift in their design. So I'm going to say okay reasoning for the type, but yeah, not great for them. Wailmer was the one I was just looking up. Wailmer, if I can find his dex entries. Not sure why Wailmer and Wailord are on here. I know whales are known for having whale calls and singing and whatnot, but I'm not sure that we see that much in Pokemon. We do see it firing jets of water out of its body. Let's see if there's anything on Wailmer about the sound type. Sightseeing, it's the biggest Pokemon, it can dive. Yep. Not seeing anything about why it would be sound type. You could definitely, you could make the case. I'm going to say it's a stretch on this one, because I could see how a whale could be made sound type, and because these guys are already just one typing, they're just water type, making a water sound type would make sense. I'd say it's a stretch at best, though. Not really going to be the best of reasoning, in my opinion. Ekans is next. Ekans, you know, with the rattle and everything. I should probably pause the video and look up some of these so I don't keep having to type. But if we look up Ekans, I don't know anything in its dex about sound. Now, you do have the whole snake. It does have a rattle. Snakes do hiss. Snake charmers use flutes. I guess it's a stretch. It's probably even more of a stretch than the whales. But I think it's better than the Porygon 2. Again, unless I'm missing something about the Porygon line, which I probably am. Let me know if I am. So yeah, I'd say it's a stretch on the snakes. Feebas and Milotic. These ones make a little bit more sense because Milotic is known for being so beautiful. It's known for, I believe it has a lovely voice. I think it's just beautiful in every way. And Feebas is its pre-evolution, so it could get those with it. Let me go ahead and look up some of these other ones so we don't have to do this live, and this takes 45 minutes. Alright, looking up stuff. I don't see much about Clamperl, Huntail, or Gorbis, or Torkoal being sound type. Spoink, I remembered Spoink has one of the most tragic dex entries of anything. It says, it bounces constantly, using its tail like a spring. The shock of bouncing keeps its heart beating. So, if this thing stops bouncing, it dies. I'm not even going to give this thing any more attention. It just deserves a rest. So I'm going to leave it alone. Duskull and Dusclops, I think, are interesting being ghosts. I'm going to put them in as a stretch. Kricketot and Kricketune, I actually like being birds. Bugs. It does mention on, I think, Kricketune's dex entry, or one of their dex entries, that it rubs its wings together. Can't really fly, but it rubs its wings together to make noise. So I'd say good reasoning for the type overall. I think they are just mono bug type as well, so... Is it an automatic? I don't know if it's automatic. I'm going to say good reasoning. But it's, you know, it's a pretty good one. Ambipom, yeah, don't really see that one. Chatot, absolutely automatic. I think it is normal flying, though, so it would lose a type. But losing normal wouldn't be, you know, a big deal. Electivire, Porygon Z. I'm going to actually look up Porygon Z. Because if Porygon 2 was on here, it talks about space, maybe Porygon Z does have something to do with electricity, or sound or something, software acting oddly, programming, unstable, alien dimensions. Yeah, not really much here. Not sure why Throw or Sock would be sound type. Not sure why the Kling Clang line would be either. I guess their names alone do kind of give you the idea of a sound type because their names are Clink Clang and Kling Clang. But just looking at their dex entries, they mesh well with each other. Gears spinning. Yeah, nothing about sound. Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff are good ones, though. I need to be reminded, is Jigglypuff just fairy type? It's normal fairy. So Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff make perfect sense. I'm sure Igglybuff, yeah, is down here too. We're going to go ahead and put these guys in automatic, but would lose a type, because they would lose normal typing for this. But that's, I don't think, a problem. You could make them sound fairy, and it would be perfectly fine. Obviously, Jigglypuff, known in the anime, especially for doing a lot of singing. I think these Pokemon would be pretty automatic. If they do add a sound type, it would make perfect sense to add them. Meloetta, automatic. Meloetta is known as, I believe, the sound Pokemon. Let's look up exactly what it is. It's the Melody Pokemon. Just taking a look at that. It's the Melody Pokemon. Now, it is normal Psychic and normal Fighting, so I suppose it would also lose a form. Maybe we should put them up here if they lose normal, right? Because we've seen Pokemon lose normal type before, and it's not that big a deal. So maybe if they're only having to lose normal, we put them up there, right? Chatot 2, only losing normal type, so it's not that big a deal. I'm going to go ahead and say those are automatic. If there is a sound type added, these Pokemon would definitely be sound type. Duskull, again with the Dusclops, not really sure why they were there. But I would say it's a stretch with the whole ghost thing. I'm going to go ahead and fill up why would this be sound type with a couple more Pokemon, just that I don't really know the reasoning for. Definitely let me know if you do. Obviously, I probably should have looked up the dex entries for absolutely every one of these, but I didn't. So I'm just going to fill up this why would this be sound type with just some more Pokemon that I really am not sure why they're even here. You know what? Obstagoon. Ooh. See, I don't know that Zigzagoon and Linoon would be sound type, but Obstagoon is shown to do a lot of singing, so that one I could see, actually. So maybe I shouldn't bounce around so much. I'm going to say okay reasoning on these guys just because they're the pre-evolve form of Obstagoon, and I think Obstagoon would be good reasoning because he sings. At least in the game he does a lot. And I'll get down to these guys in a sec. Let me go ahead and get back up here. We have Noivern and the other one. Which one of these is Noivern? I don't know why, but I always get these Pokemon mixed up. Yeah, we have Noivern and we have Noibat. And the problem with these guys is they are flying dragons. They would lose one of those typings. Probably makes the most sense for them to lose the... Well, I don't know. Dragon Pokemon can already fly, so a dragon sound type would probably make sense for them. Though Noibat is definitely not a dragon. So maybe Noibat would be sound flying, and Noivern would be sound dragon. So yeah, these guys would definitely lose a type, and the type they're losing would not be normal type. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in there. It would be automatic. They would definitely be sound type Pokemon, but they would lose a type in the process. So that wouldn't be... I mean, it'd be fine. They would do it, but it wouldn't be as automatic as these guys up here. Audino, shown to do a lot of singing and whatnot, if I do remember correctly, so I'm going to say decent reasoning. Let's put in an okay reasoning. I don't remember as much as like Obstagoon, obviously so iconic in... Well, I don't know if anything in Sword and Shield is iconic, but very iconic in the game, at least for the singing and whatnot, I should say. Xerneas is an interesting one. Xerneas... Yeah, we're just going to hear some typing this video. I apologize for that. Xerneas, the life Pokemon. What do we got here? Legend says it can share eternal life. Doesn't say anything about sound. Not sure about that one. Primarina, though, I kind of like. I'd say good reasoning for the type there. Looking like an opera singer or some type of dancer, Little Mermaid-esque thing. Could do some singing. Looks like she belongs in a Disney movie. Pikipek, it's a woodpecker, so it does do some pecking, which is a sound. But I'm not sure about having it be sound type. It can peck at a rate of 16 holes a second. Okay. I want to say okay reasoning for these guys, because I could see them doing a woodpecker thing. And as Pikipek evolves into Toucanon, you could definitely say Toucanon, and some of these other birds could do a little bit of talking, kind of parrot-esque. I know a toucan is totally different from a parrot, but I don't know. It kind of seems to fit. I could see it. I'd say it's a stretch. Drampa, I'm going to say this one's a stretch just because this Pokemon needs something. This Pokemon is so forgettable and it's so unfortunate. And it's definitely got a really cool Magic Dragon vibe that I like. But I'd say it's a stretch for it to get the sound type, but you could work it in there. Alright. Kamo Jangmo. This line, where's the first one? Did they not include the first one? Okay, whatever. These guys are great, though. They're dragon fighting, so they would lose one of those types. But I think they'd be pretty automatic. Definitely going to put them up there. Xurkitree, I don't really know why Xurkitree would be sound type. Do we have anything in the dex entry about that? One of the mysterious life forms known as the Ultra Beast. Astonishing electric shocks emanate from its entire body. No, there's not. Grookey. Thwacky? I hate this Pokemon. This is one of the worst starter middle lines that I've ever seen. Why is it yellow? It makes no sense why it's yellow. And Rillaboom. Rillaboom definitely could be sound type. it has drums and stuff. In fact, it'd be pretty automatic to add that. Grookey and Thwackey. Thwackey has, like, the drum sets, too, so that would be pretty automatic. And, yeah, you'd probably go ahead and give it to Grookey, too. We'll put Grookey down here, because a lot of times starters, they don't get their secondary typing until they evolve. So having Grookey be just grass type and then evolving into a grass sound type, I think would make a lot of sense. So I'm going to say good reasoning here, but you definitely don't have to make Grookey sound type 2. In fact, are there any starter Pokemon that are dual type right from the get-go? I don't know that there is, actually. So I get why it would be sound type, but it probably won't be. I guess I'll put it in okay reasoning. Toxicity, yep, that would be sound type, but it would definitely lose a type. So this is an issue because it's the very unique poison electric type. I suppose it'd lose the electric type, become poison, and this is probably honestly why we're never getting a sound type, is because so many of these Pokemon that would be sound type, they have really cool, unique aesthetics without it. The Kamo line being Fighting Dragon is really cool. This guy being Poison Electric. We have other dragons here, right? So there's some interesting types here and combinations, even without the sound type being added. I don't know why they didn't include Mr. Rhyme in this list. They have Gen 8, obviously, with Toxicity and Obstagoon. Mr. Rhyme is based on, like, a tap dancer, right? And, like, Charlie Chaplin. So it would make sense for him to be a sound type, I would think. But he's not on this list, so I guess we're leaving him out. Electabuzz I'm going to put up here with Electivire. Berserker, I don't know. Chimeco could be sound type for sure. Now let's look up, is Chimeco just psychic type right now? Chimeco? It's probably Chimeco. I always say Chimeco. Chimeco, it's a wind chime Pokemon. It is just psychic type. Yeah, that's going to be pretty automatic then. We don't have its pre-evolve form here. Who's making this tier list? So yeah, its pre-evolve form would probably be psychic type. Or excuse me, sound type as well. We have Porygon 1 in here. Go ahead and put all those Porygons together. Apom, toss them in there. Pyroar, or Litleo and Pyroar. Mischievous, Mismagius, Bellossom. Woobat and Swoobat I could see, actually. Similar thing to Noivern and Noivern, just a lot more subtle. Taking a look at that, yeah, I'd say okay reasoning on those. And then Nosepass, it has a compass thing going on, but is there anything in there about it being sound related? I'm not sure about that. When it's in danger, it may protect its body with its magnetism, right? Iron objects. Its nose faces north. It moves less than an inch a year. Its nose is a magnet. Yeah, nothing about sound, unfortunately. How about Probopass? Oh my gosh. Why can't I find Probopass on here? Oh, wow. It was right there. Alright, let's check out Probopass. Its entire nose body eludes I can't read. Strong magnetism. Probopass controls 3 small units called mini noses. It is able to emit powerful magnetism, allowing it to control over iron in the forms its luscious mustache. Using iron sand, Probopass forms hard stones, which it smites its prey. Yeah, there's nothing in here about sound. Alright, so that's what we'd have. These are the Pokemon that would get the sound type. Taking a look at what we may have left out, we are for some reason missing Jangmo. So we have Hakamo and Komo, which is nice. But for some reason they left out the first version. We have Maractis that they did not include. Maractis would be a good sound type Pokemon. It has like literally maracas, so that would be a pretty automatic sound type Pokemon, I think. We talked about Chimeco. They didn't include Chingling for some reason, so I'd add Chingling to that list as well. I think Snorlax could be sound type because it does so much snoring, and that's just a basic part of its character. It's only normal type, so adding normal and sound to it I don't think would be a stretch. I have also seen people saying Unknown could be sound type. That one I don't really understand as much, but let me know in the comments if you do. And I think that's it, guys. These are all the Pokemon that I would make sound type, or that I think should be sound type. Is that something that you would want to see, or do you want there to never be a sound type? Is there no need for it? Let me know what you think. I think that's the third time I've said that. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.